guys, what's up? It's Kylie, and today I'm doing a serious type of video which I haven't done yet on my channel, I don't think. Haven't done really something that was personal other than like fuckboy story times on Tinder, which literally is just a joke. But this is more of a personal thing that not a lot of people know, and I don't really know why I'm sharing it on YouTube, but I feel like I'm doing it for other people's benefits, and I guess this is kind of me talking about it, and it kind of helps me out, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel about posting this. I've told, I think, a number of people that I can count on my hand, not including my parents, because I do have close friends that I share a lot of my information with, but those handful of people don't know every single thing that has happened, so I don't know if they're gonna watch this and be like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? I don't know, it's hard to tell people. It's hard to tell people things that you're embarrassed of, and that you guys, I guess you'll just understand as I keep going along. And excuse me if I start crying in this video, I don't know how this is gonna go. I wanted to post this a while ago, but I never had the guts to until Alexa posted her video and I commented, and I'll show you guys my comment. It was pretty much just me explaining how I've watched her for a long time and how I've wanted to say something about my story, but I never really knew how to. I never really wanted to because people, I don't know, people are so close-minded in this world, and I admit that I was too before this happened to me. I didn't really go out on a limb to understand other people's situations and health and awareness and all that kind of stuff, so I posted about it, and after seeing all the positive comments back to me saying like, I'd watch your story, like it'll help me out, blah 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 blah, all the comments on Alexa's video saying like people needed this and stuff, I was like, stop holding back, because it's not only not helping yourself, it's not helping other people. If I tell my story, I feel like people will appreciate that and maybe relate in some way. So I'm just gonna jump into it. That was a pretty long intro. So when I was younger, I was a very independent person. I was always the type of person that would walk to school by myself, do this by myself, do that by myself. I honestly think it was grade 12, because when I was younger, from like grade 8 to grade 12, I had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend in grade 8 to 9 for about a couple months, or we were seeing each other or whatever. So I always had someone that I knew cared about me and that I could always rely on. So after him, not even a month later, he did something rude to me, and then I decided, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna date your best friend, which is what I did. So I dated this guy in high school for 3.5 years, from grade 9 to mid-grade 12. So I always had someone. I had my friends, and I also had someone that was always there for me, someone that I was always with every second of the day, going to the mall, going out, going to hockey. I always had friends go with me because I had teammates and we carpooled. So in reality, I was doing nothing by myself. Being with a boyfriend for my entire high school kind of scared me into the thought of being alone, so it was really hard for me. It was such a toxic fucking relationship, and if you were in a relationship where you feel like you are only with the other person because you don't want to see them with anybody else, that is selfish. You need to get the fuck out of there. So after we broke up, that was March 2015, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to school anyway. I had a lot of shitty ass friendships in my town. There was a lot of, I'm not gonna talk shit about anyone because apparently a lot of people watch me on here, so I'm not gonna say too much because I already gotten shit for saying something before, which I don't really give a fuck about because none of you really mean anything to me. That was pretty harsh, but whatever. You know, throughout high school you learn who your good friends are and who your fake friends are, so I learned a lot. I learned a lot of fucking friendships that were pieces of shit, and I still have some good ones today, which I appreciate. Thank you guys. I went to Boots and Hearts. A lot of shit happened with the friend group that I was in. Not friends with one of the people or two of the people. I don't even fucking know. Honestly, I don't care because I don't think back to that. None of that shit matters to me. The people in my life right now are the people that matter to me and the people that have been with me the longest. So after all that, I stopped talking to every single friend that I had from like after Boots and Hearts until I went to school. I was like, fuck all you guys. I'm going to school in about 20 days. Like, I'm moving out early, so I don't really need to talk to you guys anymore. I'm gonna be working. I'm gonna be buying stuff for school. I'm gonna be getting my shit ready to go. Like, I was just peacing out. I have my 20 days with my family and I'm gone. So we packed up and I went to school. I think it was August 28th. So I first moved in. Everything was going fine. I was so fucking excited to get my shit together. After 2 years of this program, I was done out in the real world working. I was so excited, thought I was ready. I went to school for the first 2 months, so all of September and all of October, and I had nothing wrong with me. I never wanted to come home. I was like, it's fun here. I have so many friends. Drinking was an occurring thing every weekend. It wasn't like every single day where some people go crazy at college. I wasn't like that. The first month of school, I don't know why, but people were spreading rumors about me. There was 56 people in my program, just to say, that's really small. If you guys think about it, you know all those 56 people in the next 2 to 3, 4 weeks, whatever the hell. The first month of school, you know everyone's name. In the first 2 weeks, some girls spread a rumor that I had an ass tattoo, like a tattoo on my fucking ass cheek. First of all, I don't have a tattoo on my ass cheek. Second of all, if I did, like, yeah, sure, you want to fucking see it, I'd pull my pants down and I'd show you my ass cheek. But apparently apparently I was known as something. I don't know if it was like slutty or fucking weird. Then there was another rumor that I slept with a second year. That never fucking happened. He tried to and I said no. We literally did nothing. He kicked me out of my house because I wouldn't sleep with him. So that's another story if you guys want to hear that. And then the other one was a cheating rumor. Apparently I was cheating with two of my other friends. There was just the three of us who always hung out and always studied together, and then there was the other girls who were always in the library. I didn't like the library environment because this is getting into my social anxiety thing where I never liked to go in the library. It was just there was too many people and I couldn't focus. I can't really explain anxiety to you guys, but the thing is, when I'm in places, say like the mall or say the gym or a library or school, and people are around me, all I can fucking feel is them staring at me and like looking at me and picking things out that are wrong about me. I don't know, or thinking like negative things. It's just something that comes to me. I know a lot of people don't understand or can't understand, but that's just how I feel when I go out in public and I'm not beside someone. I don't know, it's weird. And then the other one was a cheating rumor. Apparently I was cheating with two of my other friends. So we had an exam, and we had exams I think every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks that were worth 20% of our mark or something like that. Big tests, finals, whatever the hell. Our passing mark was a 70 in every single class. I think it was only a 60 in biology and anatomy. Me and the two other girls were failing this class. I was failing by 2. I babbled on so long about cheating, but honestly, if me or the other girls were gonna cheat, why would we cheat on each other when we're all failing that class, and why not on someone smarter that is actually passing the class? It just doesn't make sense. So fuck all of you. College is the backbone to your career, and if you get caught cheating in college, your life is fucking over. How are you gonna get accepted to another college? Why would I risk myself? So anyway, that's where more uncomfortableness started, because I couldn't walk around campus without these girls literally like eyeballing me. And after hearing girls talk shit about you and telling on you for things that you haven't even done, what are they gonna say while you're walking by them? You know, like it just all adds up in your head. So I did go home a few times in November, because after October, when more of the finals and all that extra stuff was coming up to finish that semester, I was getting stressed the fuck out and I needed my family, which I never thought I would need. I don't know, my mom and I didn't get along before I went to school very well, and I think it was just better for me to move out. I guess that was another reason why I wanted to move out. There was actually this one time at the end of November where I came home and I just cried and cried and cried, and I remember just crying in my room, and my parents were like, what the fuck is wrong? I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to go back. I literally don't want to go back. Leave all my shit there. I'm so upset there. Like, I could not get out of bed throughout November. I physically couldn't get myself up and go to school. So when I was home, my parents were like, you barely have even a month left of school to finish everything. Just study hard. So there was actually this point in time where I was crying in my room. My roommate heard me. I don't know if any of my roommates watch my videos. It's in my Instagram bio. So like, hey, if you're watching this. But there was actually one where I went downstairs to her room and I needed to talk to someone. And you know what she said? She said, you do what's best for you. It's your future, not theirs. And oh man, that's what I fucking live by now. If you are doing something that makes you unhappy, don't fucking do it. You have one life to live, and if you're gonna waste it doing something that you are unhappy about, like, do what you want to do. Don't do what your parents want, what your sister wants, what your boyfriend wants. Do you. So there was one day where I woke up and I couldn't go to school, and I said, you know what, this has happened so many fucking times this week where I get up and I physically will not get out of my room and leave my house. I would lock my door. My roommates would come knock on the door to see if I went to class, and I'd just be in there. I think they knew something was going on, but honestly maybe they just thought I was lazy. I don't know. Only the one roommate really knows what was going on. But I went to my best friend in college and she knew what was going on. I talked to her about it and my roommate. Those were the only two people in college that I talked about it. And I went up to my best friend who lived 2 or 3 houses down, and we talked. She said, you know what if you have to go to the doctors? Like, why don't you go tell the doctors how you're feeling? She walked with me in the fucking freezing winter cold to go talk to the doctors. And I went to the doctors and I was like, I don't want to live anymore. And I explained to him about how the time when I was coming home that weekend, when I told my parents I didn't want to stay at school anymore, there was a very, very, very severe storm, like a winter storm that was so bad that if I didn't have to go to school, we wouldn't have driven in it. And I was texting my sister, but I was crying in the back seat. I don't have my seatbelt on. I hope I get hit by a fucking transport truck and I hope I die. I was completely serious. I wanted to get into the worst car accident ever. Obviously, I wanted the other people in the car to be okay. I wanted to fucking die in that instant. I didn't want to go back to school. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't care if I died. Literally, it was at that point where I was like, well, I wouldn't have to deal with all this shit. I won't have to listen to what's going on in my head. I was also dealing with a big weight gain, which you guys are gonna hear about in a second, that I forgot to address here. So the doctor took this test. I guess he pulled out his phone and was doing these tests, asking me questions, and he was like, yeah, you're depressed. He's like, so have you gained weight recently? Girl, I gained over 25 pounds. I know the freshman 15 is like a thing and I know it's normal, but I gained over 25 pounds and I could not stop eating. Every second of the day, like every 5 minutes, I had to have something in my mouth. It was just something that distracted distracted me from thinking stupid things and doing stupid things. So that's what I did. Food was my runaway. Usually when people are depressed, they either eat a lot or they don't. So then once I told him that I did gain weight, he was like, okay, and how are you feeling with your appetite? And I told him my situation of how I couldn't stop eating. So he gave me these pills that he said would suffice or like slow down my appetite, which I got. I don't know what they're called. If I can figure out what they're called, I'll like insert it. And he also gave me sleeping pills because at night I couldn't sleep and I would sleep all during the day. What I didn't tell him at this point in time was that I became bulimic because my friend was in the room. Since I just met the doctor, I was scared that I wouldn't be able to explain everything to him, and that if I needed help, she was there to explain it to him. And she was a very close friend, and it's actually Kiana, who I have in one of my vlogs, so thanks, girl. So I didn't tell him that I became bulimic, and when you are bulimic, man, I wasn't bulimic for that long, so I can't really elaborate on how it is to be bulimic, but it ain't good. I would go to sleep with 3 red Solo cups beside my bed, all filled with puke, and that's because I was so unhappy, and also because looking at myself in the mirror was like looking up a blown up version of me. It was like wearing a fat suit on Halloween and saying, oh, this is what I'm gonna look like if I gain 30 pounds. It was horrible. I was destroyed. I even tried on my summer shorts that I wore when I first got to school because it was still a little warm outside near like beginning of September, end of August. Tried to put on a pair of my summer shorts and I ripped them. So I was very unhappy. Also, my leggings that were a size small were all very see-through or ripped. So after I went to the doctors, I texted my parents, well, my mom mostly because my dad doesn't really use his phone, and I told her what was going on. And the thing is, my mom doesn't understand mental health, which I understand. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, there are a lot of closed-minded people in this world, and especially the older generations like our parents, our grandparents, if they didn't experience it, which because it wasn't such a big thing when they were younger, they don't have that much knowledge on it. So my mom didn't understand it, and she told me, do your shit, like become a paramedic, blah, blah, blah. She didn't understand what I was going through. I even told her that I was on pills. My dad was more supportive of it because he did go through some things. This is very touchy to me. I never attempted to kill myself, but I did think about it. I just never really knew the right way to do it. And I also really love my dad, and my dad is like a very important person to me. So I thought about the people that really mean something to me and that I mean a lot to them. My dad was the #1 thing that really held me on. So there was a day, a fitness testing day, and this was the day where it was your make or break in the program. So you had your grades and you also had your fitness testing component. So if you failed one of the 2 fitness testings, you failed the program, you're out. Like all your academics, even if you had 90s, 95s, which was really almost impossible to get in our program, didn't fucking matter. If you can't do the fitness testing, you're out of the program. All that studying and hard work of 4 months means nothing. So it came to that day and I didn't want to fucking go. I took this as an excuse as to me leaving my program and failing my program. So that's what I did. I told my parents that I failed, which I technically did fail my fitness component, but they thought that I actually went and tried to do it. And if you fail one of them once, you don't get a second try. And she didn't understand that. She kept yelling at me to go try it again, try it again. But even if I did actually fail, they wouldn't let me try it again. So she was very mad and upset. So from then until now, almost a year later, my parents think that I failed school when I actually just dropped out. I didn't want to do it anymore, and that was my excuse to just leave. And I am so fucking happy that I left when I did, because if I stayed another month or another 20 days, however long left, God fucking knows what could have happened to me. I was so upset. I have never ever thought of becoming bulimic or doing anything stupid to harm my body, and college fucking did it to me. And I feel like it does it to a lot of people, and people need to understand that they are not the only people. And the really shitty thing about after all this dark side shit that I went through at school and I'm home and happy, I still have anxiety where I can't do things alone, and it fucking sucks. If anyone has any tips or tricks on how to figure it out, I know I was talking to my friend Christina about it because she went through the same thing and she was giving me tips and tricks. Like I literally can't go to the fucking mall by myself. Can't go to the gym by myself because I just physically will not get myself to go. I'll only go with someone. There's literally a Shoppers Drug Mart right across the street from me, and I can't go there unless I'm with someone or I have someone on the phone, so that all the shit that happens when I think people are saying things about me or think people are looking at me weird, it's all distracted because I'm on the phone. So that was it for my story. I really hope you guys took something out of it or can relate in some type of way and not think that I'm batshit crazy, especially if you know me in person. I don't really talk about these things face to face because it's really fucking awkward for me. It's a very touchy subject for me, and I feel like it is for a lot of people. Even people, if you're struggling right now, just fucking talk to someone. I know it's hard to. Go to a doctor. A doctor knows a lot and will help you with a lot. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I have both my Instagram Instagram and Twitter DMs open because I like talking to you guys. I don't really know what else to say. I'm gonna end this here. I just wanted to share my story with you guys so you guys can kind of get a little background information of why I'm not in school right now and why I am not going to school currently. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you have any questions, just comment them down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Bye guys.